a Phillies fan caused a stir when she marched over to her father and demanded the home run ball he'd just given his son. Under pressure, he handed it over. The video blew up online, not just for the ball itself, but for what it exposed: double standards in public behavior, genu- gender dynamics, and how men often feel forced to back down. Mike, when you see this situation, what's your reaction? Was this just a heated fan moment, or does it point to something deeper in our culture?
Man, I knew we were going to talk about the baseball here today at some point. I just knew that was going to happen. Ah, sigh, big sigh.
It's got to be
Um,
now because we're going to get deep today.
yeah. Well, can I just say one thing, Phil?
Say it, say it.
When a baseball is hit into the stands, this is just Mike's personal opinion, but if there's a child around, give it to the damn kid. I mean, that's just to me that's like a no-brainer here. You know, I mean there was arguments about, okay, having been to a lot of baseball games in my life, and if you're not sitting in the greatest seats, which those guys weren't, right, when it's hit, foul ball way out there into the outfield, um, it bounces up there. It's a scramble, right? It's a free for all. Who gets to the ball first? People go running. Sometimes they go running 15, 20 chairs over from where they're sitting, whatever. This is all part of the game. It's been going on for years. So, uh, you know, I just, I guess the only thing I'm going to leave it at this: for the woman to walk across 20 chairs to go after the guy had clearly got the ball, handed it to his son, and then go make a conflict out of this when I think just about anybody could figure out. I mean, we talked about, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago about that, the kiss cam at the Coldplay concert. You can't do anything nowadays without being on camera, right? And everybody knows that baseball games are broadcast and there's cameras everywhere and they follow every ball that gets hit everywhere. So you got to know you're on camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what goes through this woman's mind that makes her want to go after a ball that's been given to this child?
That's the point that I was bringing up. Is we live in a society now where an old lady feels very comfortable running up behind a young man at an event, a sporting
Mhm.
event, and basically attacking him.
Now, here's the weird thing about this, Phil. I don't know if you find this funny because I know you're into conspiracy theories. How come the internet has not figured out who this woman is yet? There was a couple people that they came out with that they thought it was her, and it's turned out it was false. I find it impossible to believe that nobody's outed her. Not a friend, not a neighbor, not somebody that doesn't like her, not somebody that she works for. Like, how are they keeping this under wraps so much? Because if we know
I'm
one
a,
thing about the internet, we know that the internet is a breeding ground of hate, right? So there's people that are just ravenous out there right now that want to know her name and out her and do as much damage to her as possible. So how does it not come out?
I'm gonna make it real easy for you. If you were to guess, what would you think her ideologies are? What persuasion is she, left or right or whatever?
Okay, Philly, now you're just screwing me. And the reason I say that is because obviously you heard right away that all the memes that came out and everybody that just they immediately targeted her as a left wing sympathizer, let's just call it,
Right. And the
based
media,
on what? So were they based on, from what I could tell, two things. Well, three things. A woman that didn't appear to be with anybody, her haircut, and her glasses. Is that a fair assessment?
that's what I'm saying. And the media is full of them.
Well, that's a good point.
I
But
mean, they don't want to eat their own. That's basically it, Mike.
yeah, but I mean, the media is a little bit different entity than say TikTokers. I mean, I think it was TikTokers that pretty much identified the Kiss Cam people almost immediately. It's not very difficult to cross reference. We've got facial recognition. We got all sorts of stuff nowadays. Come on. So I'm just a little bit surprised at that. It's just,
Well,
yeah.
I'm,
I
I'm
mean,
looking I'm looking at it from a whole different way, Mike. I'm looking at it as an old man and how, and I'm talking to younger folks. You have to, you can't just look at a little old lady and feel safe. You have to judge your actions these days in a very careful way. If you listen to the audio of what she was saying, if there had not been jumbo cams and everything, she was literally telling the guy she had the experience with that something else happened.
yeah,
So if there were no cameras, the story would have been her story and not his.
correct.
So because people were also making fun of him the way he
Yeah, he was
like
scared.
pulled
Yeah.
right, but he looks like he's a upper middle class dude. He's at a baseball, good seats, right?
Hmm.
So he's probably in an office. He's probably had friends lose jobs with minor interactions, questionable interactions with females. So that was probably not even his real response. That was probably his office fake response about things. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
Yep.
I think that was an orchestrated response because he was like, "Let me submit. Let me show I'm not violent." That's what I think that was about. So you have to be careful with your interactions with women these days, or it can go south, especially if there's no camera.
I'd be remiss not to say that the main reason I think that she was targeted immediately as a left wing sympathizer, if you will, was because she clearly from the video had an unbelievable amount of entitlement.
That's what I was talking about from the beginning, and that's the media.
Yep.
That's their demographic.
Yep. So
Mike,
it'd be interesting to see if that story goes anywhere. I mean, I guess the good news of all of this is the kid got invited. His kid and his sister and the dad got invited back into the locker room, and they got a bunch of balls and bats and stuff and all sorts of things. And then I find it interesting. I don't know if you saw the story. I forget what company it was. Has offered the woman $5,000 if she signs the ball and gives it back to the kid. I
she
thought
better
that was a
take
pretty
that.
funny.
That's about because that ball will live down in infamy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna bet you right now she's not giving that. She's hiding in her basement.
Well, she's never gonna get a grab bag and invite it to anything, so she better hold on to that ball. That's probably gonna be her greatest moment ever. It's all
Yeah.
downhill from here.
Yep.